The Supreme Court is the highest judicial body in the United States. The court's 9 justices have the final say on some of our country's most disputed cases. Replacing one of these justices is no easy feat, because while the Supreme Court isn't supposed to be political, the process of getting a new justice onto the court is about as political as it gets. The Supreme Court is made up of 9 justices in order to avoid a possible tie when they vote. Justices are appointed for life because their job is to interpret the Constitution as it is written and not to play politics. While they may hold different viewpoints on what the law means, the position is meant to be as objective as possible. When a seat on the court opens up, it's the president's job to nominate a new member. This is a big opportunity for whichever political party is in power, as they'll have the chance to appoint a justice that views the law in similar ways. Presidents will usually have a short list of names that they'll float out to gauge interest among their party and the public. Eventually, the list is narrowed down to just one nominee. Selecting a nominee is only the beginning of a challenging process. Nominees will meet in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee to be asked about their background and their points of view on a number of legal issues. These hearings can get intense, as a nominee's entire life is examined and scrutinized. If they get enough votes in the Senate Judiciary Committee, the nominee then goes before the full Senate for a final vote. If they get a majority, that's more than half of the votes, they are officially confirmed to join the Supreme Court. Adding new justices can have major implications on society. With their decisions, the Supreme Court writes opinions that establish precedent, meaning it becomes the basis for which lower courts make their decisions going forward. The Supreme Court can also override past Supreme Court decisions. This is what happened in the case of Obergefell versus Hodges, which struck down an older decision and effectively made same-sex marriage legal in the United States. The Supreme Court has also been brought in to decide cases that need urgent attention. During the 2000 presidential election, the High Court halted a recount requested by candidate Al Gore of the incredibly close race in Florida. The decision meant George W. Bush won the state's 25 electoral votes and ultimately the presidency of the United States. There are some calls for reforming the Supreme Court in an attempt to make their appointments less political, including establishing term limits and changing the number of seats on the court. What do you think? Do you think the current system works as is, or is there a way to improve it?